Hey, I'm Julie Riesler. I'm here at the Illuminate Film Festival with Daniel Maggio.
Hey.
Daniel, hey, who created the You Rock short. I would love to ask you a few questions.
Sure, yeah.
First of all, what inspired this film?
Well, the prompt for the micro short competition was the oneness of humanity, and my brain instantly translated that into the interconnectivity of all living things. And so it's a deeply spiritual idea that everything around you has some kind of life force in it. And I think about rocks a lot. And you think like a rock, like, oh, that's just a rock. You can step on it, you can throw it, you can break it and make something out of it. But then I started thinking, like, what if a rock had a soul and had a face? And then it just kind of like bloop went from there. And then you have 90 seconds to figure out, well, how do I translate that idea into 90 seconds? So I was able to figure out a 3-act, 30-second structure for the short.
All right. Ooh, I love that is
Yeah.
not your average conversation about a rock, which
No,
is fantastic.
yeah.
Where did you film this and why?
Yeah, we filmed it in Nevada City on the Yuba River. So I had this idea. I was working a job in San Francisco, and it was a Monday, and I knew the deadline was approaching. And I called a friend who lives up there, and I said, "Hey, will you act in this? What are you doing Saturday morning?" He's like, I'm free." And then I'm like, "And surely you must know a cool river or a place we can film this." He goes, "I know just the place." So we got up at like 5 a.m., went out there, filmed for like 4 hours or so, and then it was done. Yeah. And it
Um,
was beautiful to film up there, yeah.
oh my gosh, I can imagine. So wait, he didn't even know he didn't even know he was going to be in the film.
Not at all. I just sprung it on him. So he's a really old friend, and he lives up there, and he's really into permaculture, and he's a great actor, but he's also a very spiritual being. So when I told him the story, he was really into it. And he goes, "I think about this kind of thing a lot." And I was like, "Good, then we're on the same page." And then we filmed his face and superimposed his face on the rocks, so it's sort of like you are every living thing that's around you. You're all connected, and that's why the title is You Rock.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Okay, Daniel, any last parting thoughts, words of wisdom, anything that just about the film or what inspired you or what you're hoping, the impression it leaves on people that view it?
Yeah, I hope people feel like it's a story, that even it's 90 seconds long, that even in that amount of time you can tell a story. And it's a really fun movie to watch with an audience and kind of hear their reaction, because you see these little rocks and people are like, "Oh my God, there's these cute rocks." And then I don't want to ruin it, but they get stepped on, and then some jerk shows up and starts throwing rocks in there. You're like, "Oh my God, this guy's a jerk." And then he's like, "Whoa, I see my own face in this rock." And the rock's like pouty, and he's like, "Oh my God." And just hearing the audience go through that ride in 90 seconds is pretty satisfying. So you can do it in 90 seconds. I didn't think it was possible, but it can be done.
Okay, I can't help myself, but seriously, you rock.
Oh, thank you.
Nice job.
Thanks. You guys rock. Thanks for having me.
So I'm curious, being here at the Illuminate Film Festival, this is all about conscious cinema and upraising consciousness and our ability to really live from a place of heart, looking through the lens of love. And I'm curious to know, making, a short in 90 seconds, how do you think that might help people to uplift consciousness? How do you think that helps with short attention spans? Maybe to just share any thoughts that you have.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it seems like the whole goal and the whole point is of films, I think in general, is about empathy. So it is about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and really getting to live that way. And so that way, when you're done with that film or that story, you actually know what it was like to live as them for that brief period of time. And so I think all great films, they do really do that, where you'd be like, "Whoa, I was really transported there, and now I really can see that, and I have more understanding." So I've always loved that about film. I've always thought that was film's responsibility to do that. And so I think Illuminate is trying to do that with everything that they program, is to give everyone that different viewpoint than their normal lives. And it's in the comfort of a seat with popcorn. So that's nice.
What's that to like about that? Yeah. So we're uplifting consciousness with joy, comfort, and yummy snacks.
Yeah, and you can always reference. I mean, that's the thing about a good story or a movie. You can always reference it later as like an example of, oh, that's why I shouldn't judge a situation so quickly because oh, that it happened in that story, and you see how it like didn't pay out for them or how it led to more misery, things like that. So they're like little reference points in our heads. It's what stories are, and movies on a mass scale are like that too.
I love what you just said. And to me, also, the bottom line might be that even in micro moments, we can still have conscious shifting experiences. It doesn't have to be a long or feature, a long film. It
True.
could be, in that 90 seconds could be life changing.
Yeah, it can. I mean, and that's a challenge for filmmakers and storytellers too, because every filmmaker I know, their movies are just they get longer and longer and longer the more they work on them, and that hard, like, cut this down, like make this 90 seconds. It's such a challenge, but it's so doable and it's so possible, and it just gets your brain working in a different way. So the 90-second challenge was brilliant, and at first I was so scared of it, and I was like, I don't think I can do that because I usually make short films that are like, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And so this was like a huge challenge and way out of my comfort zone, but the film is like way more effective for that reason. So the 90-second parameter was a genius idea.
It's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing it. And thank you for taking on the challenge and
Oh,
showing it's
yeah.
possible. We can uplift consciousness in micro moments and in 90 seconds. And you obviously put your heart in and did a beautiful job.
Thank you.